Tuesday morning, 6:52 a.m. Monday was a mess. It really was. So I'll just jump right into it. So on Thursday of last week, one of my coworkers came to me and asked about changing the schedule so that they could do an activity with the students. And it was going to mean that my class was going to move from the first period slot for Monday morning, which actually made me happy because going in and starting in the very first class of the day on Monday mornings isn't always the most fun for anyone, me or the students. Excuse me. They're often coming in off of a weekend where they have spent the majority of the time on their phones, up all night, and the last thing they want to do is learn on a Monday morning. But anyway, all of that aside, so I go in thinking, okay, I'm going to have my first period open because of the schedule movement. And I had planned an activity using the tablets and for this class and in this class. So first period was going to be my time to go up to make sure all of the tablets were working and make sure that everything was good to go. By the way, the reason why I'm saying that I was told this on Thursday, and I'm saying that Monday morning at first period was my time to make sure everything was working, is because Fridays, I do not go to that school. Fridays, I go to a different school. So I'm not there to check and make sure everything is working on Fridays. So anyway, back to the first part of the story. So I'm sitting there, getting ready to go up and check everything yesterday morning. And just before the start time for the first period and just before I was about to head up, my coworker comes back in and said, "Oh, the other teacher decided that they needed to change the schedule back to the original." So I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, that's fine. That's no problem." Now, the thing is, this activity that I had planned to do on the tablets, this is something that I've done every year for the last 5 or 6 years, basically. So I was fairly certain that everything was going to work out. So I walk up to the classroom. I walk in, I open the cabinet for the tablets, and the cabinet had been turned off. So we have a security guard that walks around at night in the school, and if he sees a light glowing anywhere, he will go into the offices and he will turn them off. So he turned off the cabinet at some point that held the tablets, and I had not noticed it. And as a result, all the tablets had run down. None of them were charged. And I didn't have time to charge them before the first period class was about to start. But they also have tablets in their own classrooms. So I asked the students, I said, bring your tablets from your normal classroom into the English classroom today. And they did. And I pulled up the website that I was using. It's a quiz website. So I use a quiz website and we do, grammar and vocabulary quizzes and things like that. So I pulled it up and they all have to log in with a code from me to get into the quizzes. And I give them the code and I give them the code. They log in. It asks them to input their name They input their name, and then the next screen should be the one that takes them into the starting of the quiz. Well, when it got there, we got an error message. And then it was one student, and then it was two students, and then it was three students. And so at first, I was thinking, well, it's the Wi-Fi signal because they're probably connected to their classroom's Wi-Fi, which is down at the other part of the school. So I got them to turn their Wi-Fi off. I got them to turn it back on and reconnect to a closer one. They opened it up. They did everything again, got to the part where the quiz was supposed to be starting, and once again, error. So basically, what has gone on is the school web administrator or someone in this whole thing has put a block on this website. But not just this website. They basically put a block on almost every website. So basically, some of the students said at the end, they said, well, a lot of .com websites do not open. They're all blocked. And I was like, oh, okay. But of course, they can still watch YouTube and TikTok, which is, TikTok, the most educational of all things. So they can still watch that and do dance videos and stuff, but they can't do grammar and vocabulary quiz. By the way, this vocabulary and grammar quiz. It's not anything that they would dread because it's actually a game style. So they answer questions, they get points, they compete against other students. It's, and it's fast paced. So they enjoy it. It's fun when they get to play it. Unfortunately, as I said, it was blocked. So yeah, that was my Monday morning. So, and then I had to rush and try to pull up something else to do in the class. By the way, the reason for the scramble in all of this is that our semester is officially over in terms of book study. So now is like a couple of weeks of free term where the students get to do other outside activities in school. Hence the reason for these quiz games and stuff using the tablet, because, it's something different. It's not a normal formal class. It's something a little fun for them, a way to compete and laugh and everything like that. But yeah, so we couldn't do that. And that was, as I say, that was my Monday morning. It was rather stressful, and I was really annoyed. But I made it through. Today is Tuesday. We're going to have a good one today. So, everyone, until next time, peace.